Of evil that led to triple murder in the Essex countryside. Tonight, the men who gunned down 3 drugs dealers in cold blood are behind bars, starting life sentences.
Michael Steele, who dubbed himself the Angel of Death, was given 3 life sentences. He's said to have laughed uncontrollably after killing the men. Also given the same sentence, Jack Wombs, his right-hand man. The pair were trapped by Darren Nichols, the driver of the killer's getaway car, who turned supergrass. It was his evidence that would prove crucial in the conviction of the 2 men. As a result, he's now been given a change of identity and is being protected at a safe house by the police.
A killer convicted of the Essex boys' murders has lost the legal bid against his maximum security prisoner status. Michael Steele, 78, has remained a Category 8 inmate despite having served 2 years over his minimum 22-year sentence for the shotgun murders of the 3 drug dealers. Steele and his friend Jack Wombs, 59, were given 3 life sentences in 1998 for the triple murders of Tony Tucker, 38, Pat Tate, 37, and Craig Rolfe, 26, in Retterden, Essex in December 1995. Steele had applied to launch a judicial review into last July's decision not to remove him from maximum security, but Justice Forum sitting at the High Court in Leeds dismissed the bid. Steele was said to have failed to join in rehabilitation courses and shown anger and aggression towards psychologists. Notorious Essex boys triple murderer Michael Steele wants a transfer to an open prison despite never taking a single anti-violence course during his 22 years behind bars. He failed to attend any training course during his sentence for the slaughter of the 3 drug dealers blasted to death with shotguns. The bodies of Pat Tate, 37, Tony Tucker, 38, and Craig Rolfe, 26, were found in a Range Rover on an isolated track in Retterden in December 1995. They were suspected of supplying ecstasy pills that led to the death of Leah Betts. Steele, 76, and associate Jack Wombs, 57, were convicted after Supergrass Darren Nichols said he drove them to carry out the murders, and phone evidence placed them in the area at the time. Both got life terms. Wombs, dubbed a model prisoner, was transferred to an open prison in Suffolk in 2019 and began working a 6-day week as a mechanic. He was released earlier this year, 2021. The parole board rejection of Steele's application included that he had not been assessed for offender management programs. Judge James Orwell wrote in his verdict, "During the course of his sentence, the applicant has done no offending behaviour work designed to reduce his risk of causing serious harm." The judge said Steele also went off on tangents about being wrongly convicted, police corruption and other matters. He will not be eligible to apply for release until 2023, but could make a fresh application to be transferred to an open prison in early 2022. A parole board spokesman said, "Lifers typically get a review every 2 years. This will almost definitely be the case for Mr. Steele." In 1998, Nichols told the Old Bailey he drove the pair to the farm track. Several films have been made about the murders, including the original Essex Boys in 2000 starring Sean Bean, Larry Lamb and Tom Wilkinson. The Criminal Case Review Commission has reviewed the convictions of Wombs and Steele for the past 2 years after they provided a new dossier of evidence. It centres on a confidential Met Police corruption report called Operation Tiberius, which detailed how the force had intelligence on a London gang boss offering to a former detective to take out the people who supplied drugs to Leah Betts. This intelligence was never placed before the jury at the trial. A CCR spokesman said the case remains under review. The following press release is on behalf of Michael John Steele, from Christopher Lawrence Bowen Solicitor, from the 7th of the 12th, 2007. Today, it is 12 years to the date since the discovery in Retterden of the blue Range Rover containing the bodies of Patrick Tate, Anthony Tucker and Craig Rolfe. During the trial, the prosecution claimed that 2 members of the public discovered the Range Rover at about 8 a.m. The jury never heard that at 6:30 a.m. on the 7th of December 1995, Detective Superintendent David Bright of Essex Police received a telephone call from a detective constable then serving on the drug squad, informing them that 3 men had been shot dead in a Range Rover in Retterden and that it was a gangland style killing. This information was recorded in the witness statement provided by David Bright to Herefordshire Police over 6 years after the end of the trial during the first Criminal Cases Review Commission review of the case. The failure of the prosecution authorities to disclose this information prior to the trial in accordance with their obligations misled the jury about how the police first learned of the murders. If the three deceased was not under surveillance on the 6th and the 7th of December 1995, how is it that Superintendent Bright knew of the murders approximately 1.5 hours prior to the two witnesses who the jury were told discovered the Range Rover at about 8 a.m? A number of pertinent questions need to be answered urgently. They include: who really first discovered the bodies of Tate, Tucker and Rolfe? When? In what circumstances? Why was it that the scene was not already sealed off by police before 8 a.m? Which Essex Police Drug Squad officer telephoned David Bright? And why was Superintendent Bright's knowledge of this call never revealed to the defence prior to the trial?